September 26, 2008, the world was on the brink of a financial meltdown. Barack Obama and John McCain were in the heat of a historic presidential race, and social media was just beginning to change the way we live and interact. But in a quiet corner of Westport, Connecticut, an era was coming to an end. A man who had captivated the hearts of millions on the silver screen took his final bow. Paul Newman, an icon of American cinema, passed away, leaving behind a legacy that transcended film, philanthropy, and even salad dressing. We call him the Renaissance man of Hollywood. Driven by a relentless pursuit of excellence, Newman was more than just a pretty face. He was a force that shaped the movie industry and left an indelible mark on American culture. But what if we could travel back to the 1950s? Hollywood was the epicenter of glamour and fame, and a young Paul Newman was just stepping into the limelight. His blue eyes and undeniable talent quickly made him a household name. Yet, as we all know, fame comes at a price. The man who seemed to have it all was also a man of complexities and contradictions. To reignite the economy of a struggling film industry, studios were investing heavily in new talent and blockbuster movies. The stakes were high and the pressure was on. But even amidst the glitz and glamour, Newman stood out, not just for his roles, but for his choices. Choices that would influence not only his career, but also the lives of those closest to him. It was during these defining moments that something extraordinary began to unfold. Not on the red carpets or the award shows, but in the intimate spaces of Newman's life. Joanne Woodward, his wife of 50 years, was his rock, his confidant, and the keeper of secrets that the world has been eager to know. But who exactly is Joanne Woodward? Well, she's not just the woman behind the man. She's a formidable actress in her own right, an enigma who has chosen to remain silent about their life together. Until now. Over the past 15 years since Newman's passing, speculation and curiosity have only grown. The world has been waiting, and Joanne Woodward is finally ready to break her silence. But what she reveals might just change everything we thought we knew about Paul Newman, the man, the myth, the legend. Paul Newman was not just another Hollywood star, he was an institution. Born on January 26, 1925, in Shaker Heights, Ohio, Newman served in the Navy during World War II before attending Kenyon College. He later studied at the Yale School of Drama and honed his craft at the famed Actors Studio in New York City. His breakthrough came with the 1956 film Somebody Up There Likes Me, where he portrayed boxer Rocky Graziano. The film was a commercial and critical success, and Newman was on his way to becoming a household name. But what set him apart from other leading men of his era? For starters, his versatility. Newman wasn't confined to a single genre or typecast into repetitive roles. From the anti-heroes of Cool Hand Luke and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, to the flawed characters in The Hustler and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Newman showcased a range that was both broad and deep. He could make you laugh, cry, and think, all in the span of a single film. This versatility didn't just make him a favorite among audiences, it also earned him accolades from his peers and critics alike. Over his career, Newman received 10 Academy Award nominations, winning the Best Actor award for his role in The Color of Money. However, Newman's influence on the movie industry extended beyond his on-screen performances. He was one of the early proponents of method acting, a technique that emphasizes emotional authenticity over theatricality. This approach revolutionized acting in Hollywood, influencing a new generation of actors who sought to bring depth and realism to their performances. Newman's commitment to his craft was so intense that he even took up race car driving to authentically portray the character in Winning, a passion he continued for the rest of his life. But Newman's impact wasn't limited to the artistic side of filmmaking. He was also a savvy businessman. In 1982, he co-founded Newman's Own, a food company that donates all post-tax profits to charity. The brand was an extension of his personality, authentic, unpretentious, and socially conscious. It also set a precedent for celebrity-branded products, demonstrating that stars could leverage their fame for philanthropic causes. Moreover, Newman was instrumental in changing the way Hollywood deals with contracts and revenue sharing. He He was among the first actors to negotiate a percentage of the gross profits for his films, a move that shifted the power dynamics in Hollywood, giving artists a stake in the financial success of their projects. This not only increased his earnings, but also encouraged him to take roles in risky, unconventional films that might not have been made otherwise. The result was a body of work that was both commercially successful and critically acclaimed, a rare feat in the entertainment industry. Newman's influence also extended to political activism. A vocal supporter of civil rights and anti-war movements, he used his platform to advocate for social change. Unlike many celebrities who shy away from taking a stand, Newman was unapologetically outspoken. His activism wasn't just for show, it was an integral part of who he was, both as an artist and as a human being. Paul Newman was a multifaceted individual who left an indelible mark on American cinema and culture. His contributions were not confined to the roles he portrayed on screen. They permeated every aspect of the film industry, from acting techniques and contract negotiations to social activism and philanthropy. He was a man ahead of his time, a true legend whose impact is still felt today. And while the world may remember him as a movie star, those who knew him personally would argue that he was so much more. But to truly understand the man, we must also explore his life off the screen, a life that was equally compelling and complex. Paul Newman was not just a Hollywood icon, he was a devoted husband and father, married to actress Joanne Woodward for 50 years until his death in 2008. Their union was one of the most enduring in an industry known for fleeting relationships. They first met while working on the Broadway production of Picnic in 1953. Newman was married at the time, but after his divorce, he and Woodward wed on January 29, 1958. Their marriage was a partnership in every sense, both professionally and personally. Newman had 6 children, 3 from his first marriage to Jackie Witt, Scott, Susan, and Stephanie, and 3 with Woodward, Eleanor Nell, Melissa Lissy, and Claire Klee. Newman was deeply involved in his children's lives, often taking them along on film sets and involving them in his various business and philanthropic ventures. His son Scott Newman, who tragically died from a drug overdose in 1978, inspired him to establish the Scott Newman Center for Drug Abuse Prevention. The impact of Newman's career on his family was profound but balanced. Despite his busy schedule and the demands of stardom, he prioritized his family. He often chose roles that would not require him to be away from home for extended periods. When he did have to travel for work, the family would often accompany him. Newman and Woodward also made a conscious effort to shield their children from the glare of the Hollywood spotlight, raising them far from Los Angeles in Westport, Connecticut. Newman's role as a family man extended to his professional family as well. He was known for his loyalty and generosity to co-stars and crew members. Stories abound of Newman's acts of kindness on set, from quietly arranging to cover the medical bills for a crew member's sick child to ensuring that extras were well fed and comfortable. His approach to family and relationships was grounded in his own upbringing. Born to a Jewish father and a Christian mother, Newman was raised in a religiously diverse household that emphasized tolerance and open-mindedness. These values were evident in his own family life, where he encouraged his children to think critically and act compassionately. But Newman's commitment to family wasn't without its challenges. The loss of his son Scott was a devastating blow that had a profound impact on him. It was a tragedy that led him to question his own role as a father and propelled him into activism to prevent drug abuse. The Scott Newman Center, founded in 1980, has since provided educational resources and support to thousands of families dealing with substance abuse. Paul Newman was a family man in the truest sense. His devotion to his wife and children was unwavering, even as he juggled the demands of a high-profile career. His approach to parenting was hands-on, involved, and deeply influenced by his own values and upbringing. And while he faced personal tragedies, he used them as a catalyst for positive change, both within his family and in the broader community. As we peel back the layers of Newman's life, it becomes increasingly clear that his family was not just a footnote to his career, but a defining aspect of who he was. But to fully understand the man, we must also look at his broader contributions to society, contributions that went beyond the roles he played on screen and the family he raised. Stay tuned as we explore Paul Newman, the philanthropist. Paul Newman was not just a man of the screen, he was a man of action, particularly when it came to philanthropy. His charitable endeavors began long before it became a trend in Hollywood. Newman was deeply committed to social justice, children's welfare, and health-related causes, among others. His philanthropic journey can be traced back to his early years in the industry, but it was in 1982 that he took a significant step by launching Newman's Own, a food company that donates all post-tax profits to charity. Newman's Own started as a lark, with Newman mixing homemade salad dressing in a bathtub, but what began as a joke between friends soon turned into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. As of 2020, Newman's Own had donated more than $550 million to various charitable organizations worldwide. The company's range of products has expanded to include pasta sauce, lemonade, popcorn, and even pet food, each contributing to the ever-growing philanthropic legacy of Paul Newman. But Newman's philanthropy wasn't just about writing checks. He was hands-on in his approach to giving. In 1988, he co-founded the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp in Ashford, Connecticut, a summer camp for children with serious illnesses. The camp, named after the gang in Newman's film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, provides a free camping experience for more than 20,000 kids each year. The success of the original camp led to the establishment of additional hole-in-the-wall camps in several countries, including Ireland, Israel, and France. Newman's charitable work was deeply influenced by his personal life. The loss of his son Scott to drug overdose not only led him to establish the Scott Newman Center, but also made him more empathetic to the struggles faced by families dealing with health crises. His wife, Joanne Woodward, who was also involved in various charitable activities, often collaborated with him on projects, making philanthropy a family affair. Newman was also politically active, using his fame to raise awareness about various issues, including nuclear disarmament and civil rights. He was a vocal critic of the Vietnam War and supported Eugene McCarthy's anti-war candidacy in the 1968 presidential elections. His political activism often intersected with his philanthropic work, providing a holistic view of the man who was as concerned with global issues as he was with individual well-being. His philanthropic efforts earned him numerous awards, including the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award at the Oscars in 1994. But for Newman, the real reward was the impact he could make. He once said, "I want to acknowledge luck, the benevolence of it in my life, and the brutality of it in the lives of others." Paul Newman's philanthropy was not an afterthought or a side project. It was an integral part of his life and legacy. He leveraged his fame and fortune to make a tangible difference in the lives of thousands, if not millions, of people. His approach to giving was hands-on, thoughtful, and deeply influenced by his own experiences and values. But what about the aspects of his life that remained hidden from public view? What secrets did this seemingly open book of a man keep? Stay tuned as we uncover unknown facts and hidden secrets about Paul Newman. Paul Newman, a man who seemed to live his life like an open book, had layers that many never got to see. While he was known for his acting prowess, philanthropy, and family values, there were aspects of his life that remained shrouded in mystery until recently. These hidden facets not only add depth to our understanding of Newman, but also reveal the complexities that often accompany fame. One of the lesser-known facts about Newman was his passion for auto racing. It wasn't just a hobby, it was a serious endeavor. Newman first became interested in motorsports while training at the Watkins Glen Racing School for the film Winning in 1969. This newfound passion was not just a fleeting interest. He went on to become a competitive racer. In 1979, he even finished second in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of the most prestigious automobile races in the world. His racing career was not something he flaunted, but was a significant part of his life, providing him an escape from the pressures of Hollywood. Another surprising aspect was his involvement in the world of academia. Newman funded programs and scholarships at several educational institutions, including a $10 million endowment to his alma mater, Kenyon College, to establish a scholarship fund. He also funded the creation of a drama department at the college, allowing future generations to explore the arts, a subject close to his heart. Newman was also a man of contradictions. While he was a vocal advocate for civil rights and social justice, he was intensely private about his political affiliations in his later years. He was a registered Democrat and even made the Nixon administration's enemies list, a fact he was particularly proud of. However, he chose to keep his political beliefs increasingly private as he aged, focusing more on actionable philanthropy rather than public political discourse. His culinary skills were another well-kept secret. While the world got to taste his salad dressings and sauces through Newman's Own, few knew that he was an excellent cook. Friends and family often spoke of his love for experimenting in the kitchen, a trait that made its way into his business ventures. Then, there's the mystery surrounding some of his unreleased work. Newman directed several episodes of a television adaptation of The Shadow, a popular radio show character, but the series was never released. The reasons remain unclear, adding another layer of intrigue to his already multifaceted life. Joanne Woodward, Newman's wife, has been instrumental in revealing some of these lesser-known aspects of his life. Her recent decision to break her silence has not only shed light on Newman as a person, but also deepened our understanding of the man behind the legend. What she reveals next will give us an even more intimate look into their life together, a love story that became iconic in its own right. Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward's love story is the stuff of legends, a tale that captivated not just Hollywood, but the world. Their relationship was a beacon of stability in an industry known for its fleeting romances and tumultuous marriages. But what made their love story truly iconic was the depth of their connection, which went beyond the glitz and glamour of the silver screen. They first met while working on the Broadway production of Picnic in 1953. Newman was still married to his first wife, Jackie Witt, at the time, but the chemistry between him and Woodward was undeniable. After his divorce was finalized, Newman and Woodward married in 1958, a union that would last for 50 years until his death in 2008. Their marriage was not without its challenges, but what set them apart was their commitment to each other. Newman once famously said, "I have steak at home, why go out for hamburger?" This quip encapsulated his views on fidelity and his dedication to his marriage. Woodward, for her part, was not just a supportive spouse, but also an accomplished actress in her own right, winning an Academy Award for her role in The Three Faces of Eve in 1957. The couple often collaborated professionally, starring in several films together, including The Long Hot Summer and Mr. and Mrs. Bridge. These collaborations were not just successful ventures, but also a testament to their incredible on-screen chemistry, which was a reflection of their real-life love and respect for each other. They shared a love for philanthropy and activism, often using their platform to advocate for various social causes. Whether it was civil rights, anti-drug campaigns, or funding for the arts, Newman and Woodward were always at the forefront, their actions speaking louder than words. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Newman's love for auto racing was a source of worry for Woodward, who feared for his safety. Despite her concerns, she supported his passion, understanding that it was an integral part of who he was. This mutual respect and understanding were the cornerstones of their relationship. Woodward was Newman's rock, especially during the final years of his life when he battled lung cancer. She was by his side, providing emotional support that only a lifelong partner could offer. Her recent revelations have given us a glimpse into their private life, shedding light on the depth of their love and the strength of their partnership. Their love story remains an enduring legacy, a testament to a relationship built on mutual respect, shared values, and an unbreakable bond. As Woodward finally breaks her silence, we are reminded of the extraordinary love they had, a love that continues to inspire and captivate. Paul Newman's final years were a period of reflection, courage, and enduring love. Diagnosed with lung cancer in 2008, Newman faced his illness with the same tenacity and grace that had defined his life. Joanne Woodward, his wife of 50 years, was his steadfast companion during this challenging time, providing emotional and physical support that went beyond the duties of a spouse. Newman was no stranger to adversity, having served in the Pacific Theater during World War II and navigated the ups and downs of Hollywood. However, his battle with cancer was a different kind of challenge, one that required not just physical resilience, but also emotional strength. Woodward was his anchor during this period, a role she embraced fully despite her own emotional turmoil. Newman's illness did not deter him from his philanthropic efforts. Even while undergoing treatment, he remained involved in Newman's own foundation, the charitable organization he founded. The foundation, known for donating all its post-tax profits to various charities, continued to be a significant focus in his life. His commitment to philanthropy was not just a hobby, but a lifelong mission, one that he pursued until his final days. Woodward, who had always been an integral part of Newman's charitable endeavors, took on an even more active role during this period. She helped manage the foundation's activities and ensured that its mission of donating to those in need continued unabated. Her involvement was not just a testament to her own charitable spirit, but also a tribute to her husband's legacy. Newman passed away on September 26, 2008, but not before leaving an indelible mark on the world. His death was not just a loss for the film industry, but also a personal tragedy for Woodward. She lost a husband, a friend, and a lifelong companion. Yet, even in her grief, she found the strength to honor his memory by continuing their shared philanthropic efforts. In interviews following his death, Woodward has often spoken about Newman's humility and his discomfort with the term legacy. For him, the real legacy was not the awards or the accolades, but the lives he had touched through his work and philanthropy. This perspective offers a glimpse into the man he was, a man defined not by his fame, but by his actions. Woodward's role during Newman's final years was not just that of a caregiver, but also of a guardian of his legacy. She ensured that his final days were spent in a manner consistent with the life he had lived, surrounded by loved ones and committed to causes he believed in. Her recent revelations about this period provide a new layer of understanding about Newman, offering insights into his character, his relationship with Woodward, and the values that guided his life. After years of maintaining a dignified silence, Joanne Woodward finally decided to speak publicly about her late husband, Paul Newman, and their life together. In a rare interview with Vanity Fair in 2013, she opened up about the complexities of being married to a Hollywood icon and the emotional journey they undertook during his final years battling lung cancer. Paul never liked the idea of being put on a pedestal. He always said, "If you don't have enemies, you don't have character," Woodward recounted. This humility, she explained, was one of the many qualities that made him not just a great actor, but also a remarkable human being. Woodward also revealed some lesser-known aspects of Newman's life, including his passion for auto racing, a hobby he took up in the 1970s. "People often ask me if I was worried about him racing, but Paul was meticulous. He approached racing like he approached his roles, with full dedication and no shortcuts," she said. One of the most touching moments of the interview was when Woodward spoke about Newman's final days. "He was always a fighter, and he fought till the end. Even when he was sick, he would tell me, 'Joanne, we've had a good run. Let's not make this a sad affair,'" she recalled. This stoicism, according to Woodward, made it easier for the family to cope with the emotional weight of his illness. Woodward also touched upon the philanthropic legacy that Newman left behind. Paul was always uncomfortable with the idea that his foundation would be his legacy. He used to say, "If all people remember me for is salad dressing, then I've failed," she shared. This sentiment encapsulates the essence of Newman's character, a man more concerned with the impact he could make on others than with how he would be remembered. In the same interview, Woodward also spoke about the Newman's Own Foundation and her role in it after her husband's passing. "Paul and I always believed in giving back. After he was gone, I felt it was my responsibility to continue what we started together. It's what he would have wanted," she stated. The revelations from Woodward not only offer a deeper understanding of Paul Newman as a husband, father, and philanthropist, but also shed light on the enduring love story that defined both of their lives. "We were soulmates, in every sense of the word, and I think that's the greatest legacy anyone can ask for," Woodward concluded. Her words serve as a poignant reminder of the man behind the legend, a man whose life was as multifaceted as the roles he portrayed on screen. Through her candid reflections, Joanne Woodward has given us a unique window into the life of Paul Newman, allowing us to appreciate the depth of his character and the sincerity of his actions.